Good morning. Dear friend, as the first light of dawn stretches across the sky, you and I meet here in the quiet, in the stillness, in the sacred hush before the noise of the day begins. This moment, before the world fully awakens, is not just another morning. It is a divine appointment. There is something holy about this hour, where time seems to slow, and the soul has a chance to breathe again. Perhaps you are listening with weary eyes and a restless heart. Maybe you have woken from a night of tossing and turning, your mind racing through all that feels uncertain, unresolved, and unfinished. Maybe you are carrying the weight of a recent loss, a sudden goodbye, a silent betrayal, or the ache of something that has not even happened, but you fear it might. I think of a woman who once sat in her car, outside her workplace, unable to step out. Her hands trembled on the steering wheel, not because she was physically weak, but because her soul felt paralyzed. She had just received news that her son had relapsed after months of recovery. The very morning she thought would bring peace became another chapter of heartbreak. Her coworkers had no idea. Her smile covered it all, but inside, she was begging for strength to simply walk into the building and pretend everything was fine. We do not always speak about those mornings, the ones where the pressure is invisible but unbearable. The ones where we scroll through our phones, hoping something, anything, will speak life into us. Where we stare at our ceiling, wondering if God still sees us through the blur of our questions and the silence of our pain. But today is not like every other morning. Today, you are not alone. What if this very moment, this sacred stretch of early light, is the threshold of something deeper, not a quick solution, but a quiet shift, not a loud miracle, but a whispered invitation? What if prayer is not just asking for help, but walking into healing? What if faith is not just something we feel when we are strong, but something we choose when we are trembling? Today, we begin a journey, not a sprint, not a checklist, but a walk one foot in front of the other, led not by certainty, but by trust. These next few moments are not religious routine. They are a sacred conversation, not with a distant God, but with a present one. Not with a God who demands perfection, but one who welcomes honesty. No matter how dark your night has been, the light you see now is proof that grace woke you up for a reason. I invite you to open your heart, not because you have all the answers, but because you are willing to be honest about the questions. You do not have to clean yourself up to pray. You just have to show up as you are, tired or joyful, anxious or expectant. He knows how to meet you right there. So breathe in, slowly. Let your shoulders relax. Let your soul settle. You have made it to this moment, and that matters more than you know. Now, let us begin. Dear Heavenly Father, I come before you at the beginning of this day with a heart that feels heavy and uncertain. I do not come pretending to be strong or pretending to have answers. I come as I am, aware of my weakness, aware of my fears, aware of the quiet ache that followed me into this morning. You see what I carry, even when I do not have the words to explain it. You see the worries I tried to silence when I opened my eyes. You see the memories that returned before hope had a chance to rise. I place all of it before you now, not because I know how to fix it, but because I trust that you can hold it. Father, there are mornings when light enters the room, but my spirit still feels surrounded by shadows. Today is one of those mornings. My body is awake, yet my soul feels tired. My mind moves quickly, replaying conversations. He hentesly kid, mistakes, and possibilities that stir anxiety instead of peace. I confess that fear has spoken loudly in my thoughts. Fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of what this day might demand from me when I already feel emptied. I do not hide this from you. I bring it honestly, because you invite truth, not performance. Heavenly Father,
Dude,
I admit that there are moments when I wonder if you are near, not because you have moved away, but because my pain has become so loud. I have prayed before and waited before, and sometimes waiting has felt heavier than the burden itself. I have asked questions that did not receive immediate answers. I have hoped for relief that did not arrive in the way I expected. Yet even here, in this place of uncertainty, I choose to come closer instead of pulling away. Today I acknowledge my dependence on you. I cannot carry this day by my own strength. I cannot sort through every decision, every emotion, every fear without your guidance. I need you to meet me right here, in this fragile place where confidence feels thin and courage feels distant. I need you to steady my breathing, to quiet the noise within me, to remind my heart that I am not abandoned in this struggle. Father, I place before you the weight of yesterday that followed me into today, the regrets I replay, the words I wish I could take back, the opportunities I feel I missed, the relationships that feel strained or broken. I lay them down because I do not want to carry what you never asked me to hold. Teach me how to release what drains my spirit and keeps me anchored to fear. Teach me how to trust that you are already working beyond what I can see. I also bring you the fear of what lies ahead, the uncertainty of this day, the conversations I am dreading, the responsibilities that feel overwhelming, the unknown outcomes that stir anxiety before anything has even happened. Father, I confess that I often imagine the worst, instead of trusting you with the future. I ask you now to interrupt that pattern. Replace my anxious thoughts with an awareness of your presence, walking with me. Dear Heavenly Father, I do not ask for this day to be easy. I ask for this day to be guided by you. I ask for clarity when my thoughts feel scattered. I ask for strength when my emotions feel unsteady. I ask for patience when frustration rises quickly. I ask for peace that does not depend on circumstances changing, but on knowing that you are near. If there is anything within me that resists trusting you fully, reveal it gently. If there is fear I have normalized, bring it into the light. If there is pain I have buried, give me the courage to acknowledge it. I do not want to carry hidden wounds into a new day. I want healing to begin where honesty lives. Father, I stand at the threshold of this morning with open hands. I may not feel ready, but I am willing. I may not feel strong, but I am present. I may not see the way forward clearly, but I choose to take this moment as an offering. Meet me here. Speak to me here. Walk with me from this very first breath of the day. Father, if I am honest, I still feel uncertain. I know you are here, I know you have heard me, but I am walking through a fog that my faith cannot seem to clear. I do not doubt your presence. I just cannot yet hear what you want me to do. I need clarity. I need a whisper louder than the noise inside me. I do not ask you to shout. I ask you to steady my heart long enough to recognize your voice. There are so many decisions that wait for me. Some feel small, some feel heavy, but all of them carry weight. I do not feel ready to lift. I replay conversations and wonder if I said too much or not enough. I think of the people I love and wonder if I am helping them or hurting them. I look ahead and see paths I do not know how to choose between. I keep asking myself what the right thing is, but the more I analyze, the more confused I become. So I bring this to you, Father, because I know you are not the author of confusion. You are the source of peace. You are not trying to make this harder than it needs to be. You are not hiding truth behind layers of pressure. You are not playing games with my heart. You are faithful to speak, and I believe you already are. I just need help learning how to listen. Teach me how to hear you above the voices that echo from my fear. Teach me how to discern your direction when my own thoughts try to mimic your tone. I do not want to mistake comfort for calling. I do not want to follow ease when obedience is the true invitation. So I ask you now, if there is any place in my heart that is leaning toward what looks easier instead of what feels aligned with you, gently correct me, pull me back, refocus my attention. God, I admit that I sometimes chase what glows instead of what grows. I see what others are doing, achieving, building, and I wonder if I should be doing the same. But deep down, I know that every life has its own rhythm. I do not want to walk through doors just because they are open. I want to walk through them because you opened them. I want to choose purpose, not popularity. And I want to choose alignment, not applause. If that means turning away from something I thought I wanted, give me the grace to let go. If that means stepping into something unfamiliar, give me the courage to follow through. Let peace be the signpost that tells me where you are moving. Let stillness rise in me where you are present. I do not ask you to explain everything. I ask you to guide me in what matters most. One step at a time, one breath at a time, one yes at a time. Lord, I ask you to break the habit of hesitating. I have spent so long questioning whether I am hearing you correctly that I have stopped moving altogether. I do not want to spend my life standing at the threshold of maybe. You never required perfection from me, only willingness. You never asked me to map out the whole journey, only to trust you with the next mile. So here I am, unsure but open. I surrender my demand for guarantees and exchange it for the kind of trust that chooses movement, even in mystery. Show me where fear has been dressing itself as wisdom. Show me where hesitation has been disguising itself as caution. I want clarity, but I also understand now that clarity often comes in motion. That as I obey, you illuminate more. That as I step forward, you unfold what I could not see from a distance. Let this be a day where faith moves first. I lift up the decisions that have felt too big for me. I place them before you one by one. The financial need that looms quietly in the back of my mind. The conversation I have been postponing because I do not want conflict. The project that requires more than I think I have. The relationship that feels distant, but I do not know how to repair. The next step in my calling that I have kept ignoring because it overwhelms me. I place all of it here, knowing you are not surprised by any of it. God, whisper your wisdom into my spirit. Remind me of what I already know deep down. Bring back the words you have spoken before. Restore my memory of your faithfulness when I am tempted to act like I have to figure it all out again. Let me walk through today, not by impulse, but by intention. Let me listen more than I speak. Let me pause before I react. Let me choose patience when urgency tries to hijack my peace. And Father, if there are doors I have been knocking on that are not meant for me, close them completely. Do not let me waste my energy chasing something that will not grow my soul. Do not let me miss what you are building because I am busy forcing open what you have already shut. Redirect me without shame. Correct me with kindness. I will listen. I will yield. I will wait where you ask me to wait, and I will go where you ask me to go. I choose today to believe that you are not distant. You are deliberate. You are not silent. You are strategic. Even if your answer comes through peace instead of words, I will trust that peace is enough. Even if you ask me to stay still instead of move, I will trust that stillness is holy. Even if what you lead me toward is harder than what I would choose, I will trust that obedience always carries blessing, even if I cannot yet see it. Let this be the day I begin listening again, not with striving, but with surrender, not with pressure, but with presence. I am here, and I am ready to hear you. Let clarity rise where confusion once lived. Let trust return where fear has lingered too long. Let this be the moment the fog begins to lift, not because I solved anything, but because I finally chose to trust the one who never left. Father, now that I have quieted the noise and offered you my questions, I sense something stirring inside me. Not every answer has arrived. Not every burden has lifted, but something is shifting. My soul is no longer frozen. My spirit is leaning forward. There is a small, steady pull toward movement, subtle, yet undeniable. I recognize it not as pressure, but as invitation, not as demand, but as the gentle tug of grace, pulling me out of hesitation. I want to respond to that pull. I want to move, even if my hands still tremble and my heart still questions. I want to take the next step, not because I am suddenly brave, but because I am beginning to understand that bravery is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to walk anyway. And I believe that you are calling me to walk, not to run, not to leap blindly, but simply to walk forward, one obedient step at a time. Lord, I confess that for too long I have waited for my emotions to align with my faith before taking action. I told myself I would obey when I felt ready, when the fear disappeared, when the doubt quieted, when the outcome was clearer. But now I see that faith does not follow feelings. It leads them. Faith is not a reaction to reassurance. It is a response to your presence. You have not asked me to understand everything. You have asked me to trust you while I take the next step. So here I am, standing on the edge of what you are asking me to do. It may not look dramatic to others. It may not even be visible from the outside, but inside, this step feels like everything. It is the moment I stop asking for more signs and start saying yes. The moment I let go of waiting for certainty and begin holding on to your hand instead. God, let this step be holy, no matter how small. Let this motion be my declaration that I believe you are with me, that I do not need to feel fearless to be faithful, that I do not need to see the full picture to begin. I surrender the desire to control every outcome. I release the burden of having to be perfectly confident. I offer you my yes, shaky as it may be. I believe you will meet me in motion. I know the road ahead may still have shadows. There may be resistance. There may be moments where I question everything again. But I choose to believe that obedience is not measured by how strong I feel, but by how willing I am to trust you anyway. I choose to believe that you honor every step, especially the ones I take trembling, especially the ones that cost me comfort, especially the ones no one else sees but you. Help me silence the inner voice that tells me to wait for more confirmation when you have already spoken peace. Help me ignore the opinions that try to calculate risk when you have already stirred my spirit. Help me walk without rehearsing worst-case scenarios. Help me believe that favor follows obedience, not the other way around. Let this be the day I stop shrinking back. Let this be the moment I leave behind the version of myself that only lived in safe spaces. Let this be the morning where I take one small step toward what you placed in my heart. Whether it is a conversation, a commitment, a boundary, or a beginning, I want to do it with you. I want to do it because of you, and I trust that you will not let me fall. Lord, if I stumble, steady me. If I hesitate, remind me. And if I second guess, whisper again the truth I need to hear. You are not counting my steps. You are walking with me in each one. You are not impressed by performance. You are moved by surrender. I do not need to achieve something grand today. I only need to stay connected to you. That alone is enough. That alone is victory. Today I choose to believe that forward is forward, even if it is slow. That progress is sacred, even when no one else notices it. That every obedient step I take builds a path I cannot yet see. I believe you are not asking me to run ahead. You are asking me to walk with you, not for you. You are not behind me, pushing. You are beside me, guiding. And that is why I can begin. So I ask you now for grace to stay steady, not just in this moment of inspiration, but in the ordinary hours that follow, when distractions come, when doubt creeps in again, when I am tempted to retreat. Remind me that this was not a feeling. It was a decision, and decisions can be remade when they are tested. I choose to keep saying yes, not once, but again and again. Thank you for the patience you have shown while I lingered at the edge. Thank you for not shaming me for my delay. Thank you for waiting with compassion, not condemnation. And now, thank you for walking with me into this day, not because I am suddenly fearless, but because you are faithful, and that is enough. Let every step I take from this point on be marked by trust, not tension, by surrender, not striving,
Dude,
by confidence in you, not in myself. You are the one who opens the door, but you are also the one who walks through it with me. That truth is my strength. That truth is why I move now. That truth is the reason I say yes again today. Lord, as I step forward in trust, I realize how deeply I have longed to know what comes next. My heart wants to obey, but my mind still reaches for a guarantee. I want to move with you, yet something inside me craves the full plan. I want to walk with faith, but I still wrestle with the desire to control how the journey unfolds. I bring that to you now, not to be shamed by it, but to be freed from it. Father, I confess that I often try to substitute clarity for trust. I ask for detailed answers, when what you offer is presence. I ask for the final outcome, but you give me the next step. I ask for a finished picture, and you hand me one puzzle piece at a time. Teach me to love the pace of your process. Teach me to embrace the rhythm of your guidance. You are not leading me in circles. You are leading me deeper into you. There are so many parts of my life that I wish I could fast forward. I want to know how the situation will resolve, how the conversation will go, how the provision will arrive, how the waiting will end. But you never promised me outcomes. You promised me yourself. And that has to be enough. You are not holding out on me. You are holding me through what I do not yet see. That is what makes you a shepherd, not a system. You lead. You protect. You walk beside. Help me surrender my obsession with results. I do not want my obedience to be driven by reward. I want to follow because I trust you, not because I think you owe me something. I do not want to obey only when the outcome looks favorable. I want to obey because it is right, because you are worthy, and because I believe that purpose is found in the process, not just in the finish line. If my heart has been bargaining with you, expose it gently. If I have been saying yes only when I see benefit, correct me with love. Let my motives be purified by the silence that sometimes follows obedience. Remind me that following you is not a transaction. It is a relationship. You are not measuring my worth by how quickly things turn around. You are watching how I walk when there is no applause, when the doors are slow to open, when the answers feel delayed. God, steady my steps when progress feels invisible. There are days when I obey and nothing seems to shift. Days when I pray and the atmosphere does not change. Days when I show up and still feel unseen. Remind me that faithfulness is never wasted. Remind me that you are working in ways beyond what my eyes can capture. If my only task today is to keep walking, then I will walk. If my only calling right now is to stay planted, then I will stay. Just give me the strength to remain in sync with you. I do not need to see the finish to keep moving forward. I do not need everything solved to keep surrendering. I do not need the full picture to walk with integrity. I need to know you are near and that you are. I sense it, even when the emotions fade. I recognize the peace that comes when I stop striving to control what is not mine to hold. Father, I know I have prayed for breakthrough. I have asked you to open doors, to clear the path, to reveal the assignment. But perhaps what I have needed most is not resolution, but redirection. Not the end result, but the next right step. And if that step is small, if it is quiet, if it is uncelebrated, let it still be enough. Let it be an altar where I meet you again, not because I achieved something, but because I followed where you led. Let obedience become my joy, not my burden. Let me wake up wanting to please you, not perform for you. Let me walk knowing that even when the road winds and narrows, you are walking it with me. There is no safer place than the place of obedience, even when it costs more than I expected. Let me walk through discomfort, if it means walking in truth. Let me walk through uncertainty, if it means staying in alignment. Let me walk through silence, if it means I am still in your will. Lord, if I am carrying dreams that do not belong in this season, release them from me. If I am holding expectations that are not rooted in your voice, Uproot them gently. If I am comparing my journey to someone else's, reset my focus. I want to walk my road with peace, not envy. I want to follow my path with joy, not pressure. I want to be content with the portion you have given me today. Let this day be about more than goals. Let it be about grace. Let this morning be about more than schedules. Let it be about surrender. Let this be the kind of day where I care more about staying close to you than about proving anything to anyone else. Let this be the kind of walk where intimacy with you matters more than results others can see. I choose today to value process over performance. I choose to treasure obedience over outcomes. I choose to measure success not by how much I achieve, but by how fully I trust. You have not called me to a life of constant arrival. You have called me to a life of consistent abiding. And so I abide now, in this moment, with this step, trusting that it matters. Even if this step does not get noticed, even if no one applauds it, even if nothing changes immediately, it still matters. It matters because it is rooted in obedience. It matters because it is grounded in faith. It matters because it is led by you. And that is more than enough. That is everything I need to keep going. That is everything I need to find peace. That is everything I need to rest in the truth that I am not walking blind. I am walking with a shepherd who knows every stone on this road. Father, now that I am walking with you step by step, something inside me begins to stir that I cannot ignore. With every move forward, I feel the weight of what I still carry. I am no longer paralyzed, but I can feel resistance not from you, but from the parts of me still clinging to what I should have released long ago. I sense the quiet war between the faith that is rising and the familiarity I have lived in for years. It is not loud, but it is real, and today I bring that battle into the light. Lord, I see now that some of the chains I thought were broken were only loosened. Some of the patterns I believed I had left behind still have a voice. Some of the fears I buried still try to guide my choices. You are calling me forward, but I can feel old voices calling me back. I want freedom, yet comfort pulls at me. I want transformation, yet routine tempts me to stay where I have always been. And so I come to you not to hide this tension, but to be healed from it. I confess that there are things I have grown used to that are no longer serving who you are shaping me to become. The bitterness I have carried like armor, the shame I have worn like identity, the lies I have whispered to myself to make sense of pain, the need for approval that shaped my boundaries, the fear of failure that disguised itself as wisdom. I have held on to these things because they were familiar, but I see now they are not faithful. They cannot walk with me where you are leading. Father, I feel like I am standing at a doorway, and I know you have opened it. I feel the air from the other side, full of promise and purpose. But the threshold is where my fear speaks loudest. It is where the voice of comfort reminds me of what is known, what is safe, what requires no faith at all. And yet, I cannot unsee what you have revealed. I cannot unhear the whisper of your call. I cannot unknow that freedom waits for me beyond this point. So today, I ask you to help me drop what I was never meant to carry through this door. If I must choose between freedom and familiarity, let me choose freedom even if it costs me what once felt like home. Even if it means grieving something I thought I needed. Even if it means standing in a space that feels unfamiliar. Remind me that you are already there, that what I leave behind cannot compare to what you are leading me into. God, I speak over every chain that still lingers in my thinking, chains of unworthiness, chains of regret, chains of resentment, chains of fear. Let them fall now, not through striving, but through surrender. I cannot break them alone. I do not have the strength, but I have the desire, and I trust that desire paired with your power is enough. I release the lie that I have to earn your freedom. I receive it now, even if I do not yet feel different. I receive it because you declared me free. Show me the small habits that keep me bound, the daily decisions rooted in insecurity, the cycles I have normalized because they keep me hidden from risk, the language I use to diminish myself before anyone else can. I do not want to live like a prisoner with an open door in front of me. I want to walk through it with nothing left, binding my heart to yesterday. Father, if there are relationships I have remained in out of guilt instead of grace, give me discernment. If there are environments I keep returning to because they require no growth, give me courage to step away. If there are beliefs I have held that do not reflect your heart for me, rewrite them with truth. I am not afraid of healing, even if it hurts. I am not afraid of release, even if it brings temporary loss. I am only afraid of staying stuck when you are offering more. Let this be the day I stop calling fear wisdom. Let this be the hour I stop waiting for freedom to feel familiar. Let this be the moment I trade survival for surrender. I know there is risk in releasing the old, but I also know there is no life in staying bound. Help me trust that you will catch what falls from my hands. Help me trust that nothing truly mine will be lost, and anything I give up for you will be multiplied in ways I cannot yet see. And Lord, if I weep while I let go, meet me in my tears. If I tremble as I say goodbye to patterns that once protected me, steady me with grace. You are not rushed by my process. You are not offended by my emotions. You are present. You are patient. You are persistent. You have waited for this moment, not with judgment, but with hope. I feel that now, the gentle invitation to come out of what I have outgrown, the loving reminder that you made me for more than cycles. You made me for freedom. So I choose to walk through this door differently than I walked through the last, not dragging the weight of wounds I never invited, not hiding behind narratives that no longer speak truth, not clinging to labels that never carried your voice. I step through with intention, with awareness, with reverence, and even if my hands are empty, I believe you will fill them again. Let this day be the threshold of a new way of being. Let me breathe in the fresh air of possibility. Let me speak from a place of identity, not insecurity. Let me act from faith, not fear. Let me expect good things without guilt. Let me hold hope again, not because life is easy, but because you are faithful. And you have declared that where your spirit is, there is freedom. I walk not as a person escaping pain, but as one choosing promise. I walk not because everything is clear, but because you are present. And I know now, deep in my soul, that you never call me to leave something, unless you are calling me to something greater. Today, I say yes to that greater thing. I say yes to letting go. I say yes to walking free. Father, now that I have crossed the threshold and left behind what once held me, I expected joy to rush in like a river. I imagined clarity would arrive quickly, like reward follows obedience. But instead, there is stillness, a deep, quiet space I did not anticipate. It is not cold or cruel, it just feels unfamiliar. After all the surrender, after all the motion, this silence almost feels like emptiness. But I am beginning to see it for what it truly is: peace. Lord, I realize now that peace does not always shout or celebrate. Sometimes it settles. Sometimes it simply arrives and sits beside me like an old friend, asking nothing, proving nothing.
Dude,
It just is. It waits for me to recognize that I am no longer battling the chains that once gripped me. I am not pressing against closed doors or trying to convince myself. I am ready. I have stepped forward, and now you are giving me space to breathe. I admit that this quiet unnerves me. My mind still wants motion. My heart wants to chase the next assignment, the next solution, the next feeling that proves I have done enough. But you are not asking me to prove anything. You are asking me to rest. And resting does not mean I am weak. It means I am held. It means I trust you enough not to move just for the sake of movement. It means I have stepped out of survival and into stillness. Father, help me receive the gift of this pause without suspicion. Help me see that not every silence is abandonment, that not every delay is punishment, that not every quiet day is wasted. Sometimes stillness is strategy. Sometimes you calm the waters not so I can run, but so I can hear. Maybe you have hushed the wind, not because I am lost, but because you want me to notice that you are here in the whisper. Let this quiet teach me how to live without performance. Let it strip away the urge to measure my worth by productivity. Let it slow my spirit down until it finally finds rest in your presence, not in a finished task or a fixed outcome. You are not timing me. You are tuning me, helping me hear the sound of your voice again in the soft spaces, the in-between, the morning moments when nothing is demanded of me but to just be. God, in this sacred quiet, I ask that you deepen my roots. I do not want shallow faith that only survives in storms. I want grounded faith that thrives in stillness. Teach me that peace is not just the absence of chaos. It is the presence of trust. And trust can grow in silence just as much as in movement. Trust can mature in the hidden place, where eyes do not see and hands are not busy. Let this season shape me, not stretch me to perform, but shape me to stay. If there are things I have missed in the rush, whispers I ignored, nudges I brushed aside, bring them back now, gently. Let this quiet place become a classroom, not a void. Let my spirit lean in, not pull away. I do not want to run past what you are revealing here. If you have slowed the pace, it is because there is something to notice, something to learn, something to treasure. Father, in this stillness, remind me of what has already shifted. Remind me of the chains that no longer define me. Remind me of the doors I have walked through, the obedience I have embraced, the surrender that has already set me free. Help me not to overlook how far we have come just because things feel quiet now. Let gratitude rise again, not forced, not exaggerated.
Pleiadi.
Just honest.
Sold.
Honest thanks for the unseen work you are doing beneath the surface. I choose now to stop searching for a new sign and instead sit with the one I already have. Peace. It may not make noise, but it carries weight. It may not answer every question, but it calms the ones that matter most. And that is enough. More than enough. You are not in a hurry with me, so I will not hurry through this moment. If stillness is what you offer, I will not trade it for distraction. I will stay. Let this be the day I no longer confuse rest with retreat. Let this be the hour I stop trying to outrun the parts of me that still need healing. Let this be the moment I give my heart permission to feel safe in stillness. Even if there is more ahead, even if there are storms to come, let me be fully here, fully present in the pause, because I know you are fully here with me. Lord, teach me the strength of staying, the discipline of peace, the beauty of being unseen yet fully known by you. I do not want to treat this quiet like an interruption to purpose. I want to see it as part of the purpose. You are not wasting a single moment of this. You never do. Even silence carries your signature. If this is the place where you are preparing my heart for what is next, I receive it. If this is the moment where you are restoring what obedience drained, I welcome it. If this is the season where my soul breathes deeper before running again, I honor it. I do not want to move faster than your voice. I do not want to walk ahead of your timing. Let me learn here what can only be learned when things are still, even if others keep running, even if the world around me keeps chasing and climbing and reaching. Let me stay faithful to this slow and sacred space. Let me be content with growing roots instead of reaching heights. Let me trust that peace is not the reward for understanding it, is the byproduct of surrender. And I surrender again, right here, right now. This peace may not make sense to others, but it settles something inside me that chaos never could. It reminds me that I am not walking alone, that I am not being punished, that I have not missed anything. I am exactly where you have placed me. And even in the quiet, even without movement, even without a visible breakthrough, I am growing. I am grounded. I am held. So I receive this stillness not as a stop, but as a sacred pause. Not as absence, but as alignment. Not as distance, but as deep presence. You are here, and that is why I can stay here too. I do not rush. I do not fear. I do not strive. I simply rest, knowing that stillness with you is not empty. It is full of meaning I will understand in time. And until then, I will stay, surrendered and steady in the peace you have placed within me. Lord, as I sit in the stillness you have provided, something deeper begins to rise, something I had not expected, but now recognize as necessary. Beneath the peace, beneath the calm after obedience, there is another layer you are gently uncovering. Not a storm, not a demand, but a wound. One I did not realize was still there. One I did not know was still shaping how I see myself, how I trust others, and how I approach you. And now that you have quieted the noise around me, I can finally hear the silent ache within me. Father, I see now that obedience is not the end of the journey. It is the doorway to healing. It is the place where real restoration can begin. I left behind the chains. I stepped through the door. I embraced the stillness. But now you are inviting me to look at what those chains left behind. The marks, the scars, the bruises I have learned to hide, the parts of my heart I numbed just to keep going. You are not rushing me past this. You are sitting with me in it. And because you are here, I am not afraid to go there. God, I bring you the hurt that lingers, even after the breakthrough. The memories I tried to bury under movement. The disappointments I never gave myself permission to grieve. The words spoken over me that still echo in moments of vulnerability. The self-protection I called strength, but was really fear wrapped in independence. I bring it all into the light now, not to relive it, but to release it, not to carry it, but to be carried through it. You are not just the God who opens doors. You are the God who mends hearts. You are not only leading me into purpose, you are leading me into wholeness. And I need that more than I need answers, more than I need progress. I need to be whole in the places where I have quietly learned to function while broken. Places where I kept smiling, kept serving, kept speaking faith while privately carrying pain I never processed. Father, teach me to let you touch what still hurts. I have gotten used to hiding it, even from myself. I have wrapped it in strength and silence. But you are not looking for performance. You are looking for permission. Permission to reach the bruises I have worked around. Permission to comfort the younger version of me that still wonders if healing is possible. And so I say yes. Yes. Come close. Yes. Speak truth to the lies I have believed. Yes. Unravel what trauma tried to teach me. I do not want to just look whole. I want to be whole. I do not want to simply move forward. I want to be healed along the way, so that my relationships no longer carry the weight of my past, so that my expectations are no longer shaped by what others failed to be, so that my voice is no longer filtered through the fear of being misunderstood. Heal me not just for me, but for the people I will love better when I am no longer bleeding beneath the surface. God, I invite you into the places I have tried to fix on my own, the thought patterns that keep looping, even though I know the truth, the emotional triggers I hide behind laughter, the shame I buried under busy schedules, the trust I withhold because it feels safer not to need anyone. I do not want to protect myself from pain if it means closing myself off from love. Teach me how to open again slowly, gently, honestly, with you leading the way. In this sacred space, I give you the version of me that is tired of pretending. I give you the part of me that still feels like I am not enough. The part that fears that if I slow down too much, the sadness will catch up. The part that is unsure how to explain wounds I can't always name. You do not need me to explain them. You already know, and still, you stay. Still, you call me beloved. Still, you reach for the pieces no one else sees. Let this be the beginning of deep healing. Let today mark a turning point, not where everything is fixed, but where I stop running, where I start feeling again, without shame, where I start hoping again, without fear, where I start receiving again, without guilt. I want the kind of healing that does not erase my story, but redeems it. The kind that does not pretend the pain never happened, but proves it does not get the final word. Father, restore what was stolen in silence. Return what was lost in survival. Rebuild the parts of me that shut down just to keep functioning. I know healing takes time, but time with you is never wasted. I know there may be tears, but you collect every one. I know there may be moments of discomfort, but they are held in the arms of a gentle healer who will not rush or abandon me. Let me stop measuring healing by speed. Let me stop comparing my timeline to others. Let me trust that you know what to do with the cracks and the scars. Let me believe that the very places where I once felt most broken could become the places you use to bless others. Not because the pain was good, but because you are good, and you never let pain go unredeemed in your hands. I thank you for every layer you are gently peeling back. I thank you for every truth you are replacing over every lie. I thank you for every moment you hold me when I can't hold myself together. This is not regression, it is repair. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. This is not falling apart, it is falling into grace. And when I feel like I am making no progress at all, remind me that being still, being honest,
Fold.
being open, that is progress. That is power. That is healing in motion, even if no one else sees it. Even if I do not yet feel it. I will trust that you are doing what only you can do, restoring the places I thought would always remain wounded. So I receive this day as a day of healing. A day where my past no longer defines my peace. A day where my faith holds space for both strength and softness. A day where I no longer hide my pain, but hand it over. A day where healing begins not with answers, but with surrender. And I surrender now, fully, to the process of becoming whole, not just in what I do, but in who I am, not just in my calling, but in my soul. Father, as I look back on this journey, you have taken me through step by step, layer by layer. I feel a quiet awe rising in me, not loud, not flashy, just real. I started this morning feeling unsure, burdened, hesitant to even take the first breath, but you met me in my uncertainty, and you walked with me through every moment since. And now, here in this space of restoration and peace, I begin to see something I had not noticed before. My life is no longer just about finding my way through. It is becoming the way for someone else. Lord, I did not expect that freedom would feel like responsibility, not in a heavy way, but in a holy way. I feel it now in my spirit, that what you have healed in me is not meant to stay hidden, that the peace you have planted is not only mine to keep, that the courage you have grown in me was never meant to be stored away in silence. You are showing me that I am not just a follower on this path. I am also a light along it, a reflection of your grace, a vessel of comfort for those still struggling to believe they are worthy of healing, too. God, I do not claim to have all the answers. I do not pretend that everything is perfect now. But I do know this: what you have done in me matters. It matters not just for me, but for the people around me. For the friend who is too afraid to pray out loud. For the mother who cries quietly before the world wakes up. For the man who is carrying shame he is never named. For the young soul who does not know they are allowed to hope again. Let my life become a door for them. Let my story be a quiet invitation for others to believe restoration is possible. Use what I once considered weakness. Use the moments I almost gave up. Use the very pain that once made me question everything, and redeem it by making it a path of hope for someone else. Not by forcing me to be loud or polished or perfect, but by helping me stay real, open, and surrendered. Let others find peace in the shadow of the peace you have given me. Let others feel safe because I no longer hide the process. Let my presence carry permission, not pressure, for others to heal in their own time, in their own way, with you. Father, I lift up the ones who are still sitting at their threshold, the ones still unsure if they can take the next step, the ones who are tired of pretending, but too afraid to let go. I pray for the quiet hearts listening right now, who feel something stirring but can't name it yet. I pray for those who feel left behind, those who think it is too late, those who've grown numb from carrying too much for too long. Let this prayer find them like a hand reaching out in the dark. Let it remind them they are not alone. And when they begin to move, when they dare to breathe again, let them know you are not waiting on the other side of the door. You are walking with them through it, the same way you walked with me, gentle, patient, faithful. Let them know you do not expect perfection. You simply desire presence. You are not demanding. You are inviting. You do not push. You draw close, and you stay. God, help me never forget where you found me. Help me always return to this sacred place, not just for myself, but for others who will need someone to sit with them. While they wait, let me speak softly to those who are still finding their voice. Let me carry hope that does not expire when progress is slow. Let me live in such a way that no one ever feels they have to earn the love I have freely received from you. Today I stop asking what is next for me, and I start asking how you want to use what has already been done. Use my healing to be a resting place for weary souls. Use my peace to cover those still wrestling. Use my quiet testimony to reach into spaces sermons never will. I will not waste the freedom you have given me. I will not bury the grace you have poured into me. I will walk this life as a living invitation, one that says, there is more, and it is for you, too. Even if I never stand on a stage, even if my story is never published, even if my name is never known, I will count it joy to be a door someone else can walk through to find you, a door that opens wide with no judgment, no conditions.
Dude.
Just truth and tenderness, a door that says, if he met me here, he will meet you too. Thank you for meeting me across these moments of prayer, for steadying my heart, for clearing the fog, for giving me courage to take one step, then another. Thank you for healing parts of me I did not even know needed your touch, for calling me into stillness and then into strength, for making peace not the destination, but the foundation I now walk on. To the one listening with me today, thank you for journeying this far. You did not give up. You did not turn away. You chose to lean in when you could have shut down. And because of that, something has shifted. It may be quiet. It may be slow, but it is real. Keep going. Keep trusting.
Cuckold.
Keep showing up not just for outcomes, but for connection, for the whisper of God that meets you in the quiet and never leaves. If this prayer has stirred something in you, if it has reminded you of your worth, or helped you breathe a little deeper, I invite you to share it. Share your own words, your own prayers, your own quiet miracles in the space below. Someone else may need exactly what you have to give. Let this not be the end, but the beginning of something sacred, something shared. And if this moment has meant something to you, I invite you to stay connected. Subscribe to this channel so we can continue to walk together in faith. Share this prayer with someone who might need to feel less alone. Let this be more than a video. Let it be a living reminder that faith still speaks, healing still comes, and hope is still worth holding on to. May the peace of God go with you now, not as a finish line, but as a companion. May you walk into the day with a quiet confidence that you are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are right on time. And just as the light of dawn spreads gently across the sky, may His grace meet you like the morning, wind soft, steady, and full of promise.